All right, AJ's over here moving some things out. I'll be back in this area in just a minute. Quite a few things over here we need to capture video on, but some of the ATCs are having to go across to start getting put up on the racks, but I'm gonna come over here. We gotta talk about the Demon. Got some people asking about the car. Some people that want to see the racks, which are not completed yet, but they're getting better. And I got a little bit to talk about detailing. So watch through the detailing. We'll be back in this building in a minute. All right, very rarely do we do a video over in this section, but being as right now we're kind of jammed up in the other buildings with some construction and racks and other stuff going on, I figured I would catch a video of this truck and just a little rainy day catch up on some things. I said, you know what? We used to outsource, and I'm gonna have Arnold. Arnold was our first official detail guy almost 40 years ago. Steve Antel prior to that, but he was a worker here, whereas Arnold was an outsource. He came here to do stuff, but we outsourced to him. He had a shop too for details. That was back when details were $75 to $100, depending on how dirty it was. Then it was $150 for a full detail where he actually, in the vans, would remove the carpet because the seats were easy removal and the back area of the vans really got filthy with kids. So I said, you know what? Let me do a little math on what a detail costs these days. Now I know you can send your car places and spend $100, $200, $300, whatever. I heard of a guy the other day spent $2,200 for a detail, but it was nasty and it needed a good cleaning. And I said, you know what? Now it's time for me to stand back and figure out what it really cost us to do a detail properly. Now, this truck was a regular use, single owner, trade into us directly. I think the man took good care of the truck, but he did have a dog, so it had some dog hair. And Alvin has spent right at 2 days, 8-hour days, detailing this vehicle. So 16 hours in. So I did the math. I said, all right, his salary, then figure materials, not figuring any overhead, because not really a lot of overhead with this building here. But, you know, in the real world, you'd have overhead. And, of course, you got some static equipment, such as vacuums and shampooers and buffers and other things. But to do a proper detail, covering the cost of cleanup and supplies and everything else. And this truck looks great. This will be for sale. It's a F-150 Lariat, very well loaded, FX4 off-road trim, the nice wheels. And again, man took good care of this truck. It needed a thorough detail. It's pretty close to about $600 to detail a truck. The reason I'm also doing this video is on days like today, we haven't had it yet today, but we did have it yesterday. When it's raining, seems to be the day a lot of people come out because they might be off work or they might be contractors or who knows what. And they want to just kind of look at stuff and maybe take some stuff for a test drive, just willy-nilly, not like they've been inquiring and they're flown in here to buy a truck and test drive. And they get offended because sometimes we won't let things out on a test drive. Now, you got to understand, part of that is for safety. You're riding around these wet roads and a big lifted truck, and you may not know to stop ahead of time, and you get up on somebody and you slide and you crash. So part of it's safety. The other part of it is, I've heard my sales guy, Mike, several times say, we've just freshly detailed this truck, so we really don't want it on the road getting filthy again. Well, I cringed at that a little bit because, hey, we want to sell a vehicle, but most of the time it's joyrides. Again, it's hard to judge between joyride and a real customer. But now that I've done the math of what it cost, now we wouldn't have to re-detail it completely. The driver's side might be a little dirty. We definitely would have to rewash it and clean the undercarriage again, especially on a lifted truck. But hey, that test drive might cost us $300 in a cleanup. Might also make a sale. So that's where the little flip-flop is, unfortunately. And who knows? But, you know, you win some, you lose some. You got to balance out things in a business and try to do the right thing. But, you know, again, we have had people very offended. And we also have had 16-year-old kids come in and want to drive the biggest, you know, thing on the lot with 40-inch tires and, you know, whatever else. And obviously, you know, they may not be here to buy. They may be, but they may not be. So we say, hey, if you bring your parents back or bring proof of approval for financing, you know, we'll definitely work with that. And of course, if it's a dry day, we'll throw AJ or Christian or myself in the truck and go for a test drive. So anyway, long story short, little clip here to piece in today about detailing and cost of business. Across the street, we've also got one of the buildings kind of cleaned out. Because of some rack construction. You'll understand what I'm talking about rack construction very shortly. There won't be any question about that. Bunch of the square bodies are out. And let me know what you guys think. I think that short bed stepside maroon truck, the more I look at it, the more I'm around it, the more I've driven it, I think that would make a good addition to the fleet for us to hold on to take to some shows and events. Obviously, we know it needs some maintenance and some repairs, but after thinking about it, Brown Bear, the crew cab long bed, covers that. The Suburban Tindo, of course, covers that. Grimace, the purple Suburban / pickup, covers that. Daniel's working on finishing his crew cab Duramax swap truck. And then Brian has the lowrider, dually, Emily's truck, the regular cab short bed. We don't have a step side officially in this part of the arsenal. So I think that would go over really freaking cool. And walk over here, AJ's got the Model A out. And he's getting ready to pull one of these 3-wheelers out because that is the racking that we're working on. So he's getting ready to get one going. Oh, he's getting his arm in motion. Oh, I had to pull started. That'll put a little tiresome on you. But for those that didn't see the post about the racking in the past, so this racking is going to go 6 high right here down these beams for the little 70s, because we have every year and every generation of the 70s. Actually, we have multiples of every year and every style. And then the good racking is going to get, all of them are good, but the racking that's being currently built is getting these put over there. And for those that ask, yes, there will be a few for sale. Some of these are duplicates and triplicates of other sizes. So, you know, only got one Takati in green, one Takati in red. Won't sell those. But the ones that we've got multiples of, or different years or generations, like the 225 DX Special Edition, DX, we've got both years. You can see the differences in the decals. Each year the Honda 250 SX. I think we do have a bunch of the 125Ms, so there'll be some extras there. That'll go with the Suzuki collection. The only blue that I have, I've got yellow, got the orange. So we'll get organized pretty quick. And we did have a fella yesterday ask about the Demon. Was it still factory wrapped? And I don't think it comes any more factory wrapped than this. All the stickers still on the windows. All the plastic still inside. Shifter still has the plastic on it. And as requested, AJ is keeping this locked, so thank you. This is the one panel only car. This is the last of my Demons. Title's in hand, so if you're looking at this from Australia or Dubai or wherever, our following is freaking worldwide. It's crazy. We just looked at demographics the other day. But no matter where you're watching this at, title's in hand. So it will take no time to transfer that if you want to ship it out of the country. It has the chalk marks on the tires. Still has the plastic on the back. So for the customer that asked, by email, and it was pretty broken English, so I believe out of the country, and we 100% no problem to sell with you. And again, there is no delays because the title's here in our name, ready to transfer happily. So, and this car's got, I think, 18 miles. So nothing but delivery miles on this car. there it is. Thanks, guys. And I promised a couple people we'd do a video on the car here. I want to get Doug and Daniel together because they're the two that take care of this. We also had the lady from Orion reach out yesterday, so I feel like she's got some up-to-date information on these buggies. So we'll be chatting about that. For those that haven't ever seen these, and we missed the summer this year, I really thought we'd get out and use these more and promote them more, but we kind of missed the summer with some shows and other things, so we'll be back at that soon. For now, that's it. Oh, we will be doing a video on the Lambos today too. So thanks, guys.